16th. So today you will hear from seasoned entrepreneurs. You would also hear from marketplace professionals who've walked the talk, right? They've gone from hustle to structure. So for those of us who are just starting up and we want to learn about, how to structure the business, you would get the opportunity to ask these people questions. Of course, those of us who are still seeking clarity, you would also get to ask them questions. You will pitch, you will exhibit. We've already seen people who have already set out things. Of course, you will connect. And please don't forget to connect. Amongst business people, it's also important not to remain in your silos as you're, exhibiting, walk around, exchange a card with someone else. You never know when the opportunities to collaborate will come. You could also see, look out for businesses that you want to, be part of. And that's one of the things that we encourage here, synergy. So if you're going to put money in someone else's business, this is the time to look at the quality of what it is that the person is doing. So I want to encourage us all to be fully engaged, take notes, ask questions, introduce yourselves, like I've said. And as we gather again tomorrow, Sunday, we will not only celebrate those who receive the grants and recognize them, but of course we will honor God, the source of every good gift. So as you journey through the sessions today, remember this: stepping forward requires faith, it requires planning, resilience, and wisdom. You are not alone. God is with you, and so is this growing community of pace setters. Let's step forward with God, with vision and boldness. Thank you once again, and welcome to PACESETTERS Summit 2025.
A round of applause for Mr. DK Nze DK. The first time I heard that name, I thought it was a warrior. The name for some of us who come from the eastern part of the country, DK is a name for a warrior. So when you have two DKs in your name, it means you're a warrior of warriors. A round of applause one more time for him. Okay, so we're going to dive right into it. I hope you're ready. I hope you have your writing materials. You're ready to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Do I have weaknesses? Promises to be an amazing time today. So, without further ado, let's welcome to take us through the next session. Our speaker for the next session. So he will be taking us through the presentation for some of us who are who are already in food business or looking to structure our business in that line. He is a consultant with NAFDAC, and let's welcome all the way from Lagos State. Let's welcome Mr. Kenneth Chibuzo to take us through. Please keep clapping. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. My name is Ahinze Kenneth Chibuzo. We have a registered company named by East Logistics. And we are into consulting to people who want to register NAFDAC-regulated products, food, chemicals, drugs. And we all here know what NAFDAC stands for in Nigeria. As a regulatory body who regulates foods to make sure that the food we take today has no effect, it's not poisonous, it's not contaminated, it doesn't cause any harm to the intake. So that's why Nigeria in a whole, when they discovered that there was so many poisonous food that people take, after taking the food, you find out that people get sick. In respect of that, this organization was now created, and they named them NAFDAC, which stands for, is a regulatory body for food related. And now, NAFDAC have made it very important that any food packaged or consumed in Nigeria must be registered by them to avoid harm to the society. And in respect of this, based on this, and this have been able to enable people's business to grow, people's business to grow in the line of the food and drugs and chemicals. And now, and this, in this case, NAFDAC came up with a unit where you can go and you get your product registered, both small and big. And when you register your product with NAFDAC, and this creates awareness and credit your business to the societies. People don't need to come again and just see your food and get scared of what is this you are selling. I hope it's good or not. For the fact is NAFDAC registered and it has a NAFDAC number on it. This enables your business to grow beyond expectation. So in this case, for you to get your product registered by NAFDAC, there are some requirements that you are meant to reach. One, you must have a registered business. You must have a registered business, and you have a trademark if you wish to protect the name of your product. If you wish to protect, you need to get all this. And after getting all the required documentations which they need from you, there's another thing they do before they go further to issue you the certificate and the number. There's an inspection they need to conduct. They need to come to your premises and look at the way you process your food. And they look at the environment to make sure that your environment is okay, and the materials and the ingredients. After doing all this, coming to your facility to put check and balance on all these related things I've just mentioned now, next thing they will do, a sample is taken. A sample is taken of the product, which then now go to the lab to analyze and make sure that the ingredients that you use for the product, is not harmful for human consumption. In any place where you didn't get it right, it does not mean that you are going to be stopped from what you are doing. All they will do, you will be advised on the way forward. If there's a corrections to make, they will tell you what to do. They will still guide you and tell you the right things to do. And when those things you are asked to do and you get it right, a certificate will be, a number will be given to you with a certificate. And this certificate most times depends on the level of your business. Some goes for 2 years and some goes for 5 years. And what are the importance? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Where do I stop? I forgot it. Okay, the importance. And there's importance in getting NAFDAC number. Enables your product and your business to grow beyond expectation. You can go to any market and present your business and present your product for the fact it has a NAFDAC number. And for the fact the society or the public knows what NAFDAC stands for, and for NAFDAC to give you this number, that means the due process must have been conducted for them to give you the number. For them to give you the number, it gives you room to export your product. You can go to any market and present your product. It can even take it to it can even be exported to the international market. And even in the process of exporting, NAFDAC will still back you up with a certain document, like a free sale certificate, which says the who tells whichever country that you're taking it to that this food is fit for human consumption and is being sold in Nigeria. And this kind of a backbone that NAFDAC gives to people that who wants to find themselves in the manufacturing industry on food-related chemical and drugs. And for you to, another thing that is important on your product is labeling. There are certain things NAFDAC looks at, because when you present your product in the market, you won't be there to be telling people this is it or this is not it, what is the content or what it gives. The best way to know what your product is all about and what it contains and the goods and the benefit of it is the information on your labels. And what are the basic informations needed from you is one needs to know the name of your product. Secondly, they pay attention to the volume or the weight of it. They want to know what's the size, so that at least when you're selling to people, you don't go and bring something of 1 kg and you want to sell it at the rate of a 2 kg. So they try to put those measures, and you know that at times prices are being placed based on the quantity. Thank you. Another thing is a batch number. Batch number is very necessary on your product. Why is it important for your product? Batch number enables you to identify each product you produce at a particular time. If eventually there's an issue on the product and you need to recall it back, it's based on the batches of what you did today, you'll be able to trace. I will be, okay, what is that is bad? Okay, it could be the one I did yesterday or the one I did today. Instead of you going to withdraw everything from the market, based on the badges, you'll be able to trace it. So that's why it's good. On your label, it's important to have a batch number on it. Another thing is manufacturing, the date of manufacturing and the date of expiring. At least you know that what you're eating, okay, is still valid for consumption. It has not expired, because it's very important. Me and you know, even when we try to buy 1 or 2 things on the traffic, the first thing we look into is the NAFDAC number, if it's registered with NAFDAC. And another thing, I hope, it has not expired. These are very important on your labels. Another thing is you create a provision for NAFDAC number on the label, because you need to mention the number on the label. Secondly, list of ingredients. At least what you are consuming, you would like to know what is it made of. The list of items you use for production needs to be mentioned there too. The manufacturing site, the address of where it's being produced. If eventually, okay, you lacked what you bought, okay, you want them to produce a number to you, or you want them to get to your store, you can easily, on the label, you'll be able to trace them. Another thing is this. Direction for use. You will not be there to be telling people on how to use what you produce. It's based on the comment on your label. Identify if it's something that you don't need to add anything, you can just make it ready to eat. So you just open it and you start eating. If you need to add water, if there's anything you need to add to it, like let's assume those days that we used to buy Nutri-C, that you need to get it and put in a cup with a powder, with a water to stir before you take it. All those things, you give those directions. That's a direction to use. It needs to be there on your label. And then there's this other thing that is important. It's disposable sign. It needs to be on the label. Okay. That shows that when you finish with whatever you're doing, it needs to be disposed in a proper bin. And storage condition. Storage condition is very important. If you have an item and it's not placed in a correct place, it can be contaminated or it can get spoiled. So that's why NAFDAC advise, at least, let it be stored in a dry, cool place, in a room temperature. whereby you will not be affected by heat or any other thing. Now, I want to debate on the importance of having your product registered with NAFDAC. Let's assume you have your product now. Just like when you go to the stores, you see chin-chin, chips, and others. Those people are able to go to that place and place their product in that place because it has NAFDAC number. With that NAFDAC number, you will not be, that confidence will not be in you to go and say, let me go and sell. So that's why it's good. When you're into food production, both catering and packaged food, it's good to. People might say that it's very difficult to get to deal with NAFDAC. NAFDAC is not a difficult people to deal with. They will even be there to help you. Even me as a consultant, when you need something, I come to you. You want to register your product, I go to them. I do the one I know, and the one I don't know, they still put me through. They still tell me way forward how I can do to get it back because they want everybody to grow on their product, what they do. But they expect most stakeholders to come around them, our clients. So when you have your product with a NAFDAC number, you can export it. You can go to NAFDAC. Okay, I want to take this product outside Nigeria. And they will support you. They will back you up with a document that the country's regulatory body, international or whatever, that stands as like WHO will even want to consider your product because there's a document backed it up by a national agency of the country, which shows that this is fit for human consumption. And why do NAFDAC do that? Is so that when you get there, if anything goes wrong there, it's NAFDAC they will hold. When they come to NAFDAC, and NAFDAC comes to you. And so that is why the NAFDAC, everybody believes that everything, not that everybody, yeah, that's what it should be. Everybody will know that for NAFDAC to give you their number, you must have gone a due process. There's a process. They look at the environment, the hygienic. They consider your health condition. Somebody with cough, wound, a communicable disease will not be allowed to handle any food that someone else will consume. So I don't know if you have any more questions to ask. I don't have much to say here, I think. Okay.
A round of applause for Mr. Kenneth Chibuzo. Okay. I'm sure we have our questions and, comments. So we'll take them one after the other. Okay, there's a question.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you thank you for this wonderful expose. I really did not have, I really did not have an idea that now that do all of this.
Yes.
So I'm asking for a friend who runs a catering service.
Okay.
First of all, I saw all the criteria.
Okay.
I don't know. What's the plural for criteria? Criterions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw all of these, and I'm like, if NAFDAC requests for all of these, then what does the standard organization of Nigeria request for? Do they work?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, NAFDAC, Standard Organization of Nigeria, only deal with equipment, machineries.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
It has nothing to do with NAFDAC.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The only where they come in again, if it's an imported product, they want to look at your package, the quality of the pack that you use to pack what you are bringing over from outside the country. For the fact, me and you know that to ship it down there to here, it takes close to 3 weeks to 1 month or 3 months or thereabout. So they want to look into the packing, the way it's being packed.
It's more about the packaging.
Yes, that's the packaging, the quality of the packaging, that it will not get spoiled before the consignment gets to Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but for you, who is a local manufacturer, you don't have anything to do with them.
Oh, okay. For a food seller.
Yeah, for food seller.
Food and drugs seller.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Secondly, for someone that does catering services, how often does NAFDAC get to inspect your facility?
It's an annual thing. It's a yearly thing.
So it's an annual thing.
Yes, it's a yearly thing.
All right. So if I'm running a catering business and I'm registered with NAFDAC, I should be expecting them at least once a year.
Once a year. Once a year. There's a certificate they will give to you. They call it GHP, Good Hygiene Practice.
Okay.
And this certificate helps. If you want to cook for the public, if you're an outdoor caterer,
Yeah.
you can take it to say,
So it's different from your NAFDAC certificate.
yes, it's different. You don't need it. Except in your restaurant,
Yeah.
you sell a packaged food. But if it's just a cooked food,
Yeah.
you as a caterer, all you need is a GHP certificate.
Oh.
That's
Please, what is the GHP?
There's
Good
hygiene.
hygiene.
Practice. So what is it telling to the world is that what you are doing is not contaminated. The environment, everything is okay. That someone can actually eat your food without having any side effects. Because NAFDAC have gone around your environment and they've seen everything is okay. At times they do a routine.
Oh, okay.
They might do unexpectedly, they'll come to your place as a visit to make sure that those things that you put in place, when they told you they were coming to inspect, you still continue. It's not like they come and leave and you go back to the old ways.
Okay.
So GHP is very, very important for
we that sell food.
that sell food.
All right.
With GHP, you can go to CHEVRON here. Yeah? You can say, I'll cook for you. One of the things is not just giving them menu of what you cook or the taste of the food. One of the major things that will attract them to you is the GHP that you have from NAFDAC. And knowing that this is a regulatory body who sees over food that gave you this. So that means you must have met the process and the criteria.
Okay, so if I have a company and someone comes to sell food in my company, I can request for a GHP certificate.
Certificate, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. God bless you.
Yeah.
One more time, a round of applause for him. There's a hand over there. There are hands. Okay, but before then, let's take this.
Good day, sir. Good day, everyone.
Yeah. Good day.
Please, can you give us a total estimate for the registration or getting a NAFDAC registration number, please?
Well, I think I will be fair enough. It depends on which, is it as an SME? Is it big, small, or micro? It's small. It's not much. It's not much. With 50,000, NAFDAC will give you number. Yes, normal receipted charges with 50,000, just, is this a business of one-man business? 50,000. This, I'm telling you the basic thing. There's other things, but at least if you want to run it yourself, I'm trying to be fair enough to everybody here. Let's assume you want to go yourself and do it to save costs as an upcoming, and you have the time to do that. You go to them. You might not. You just spend that. All you do is you do the receipted charges.
Okay.
Yes, per product.
Our product.
Yes, per product. But it becomes expensive when you involve people like us for logistics. I'm trying to be fair enough. Yeah, but you can do it yourself if you have the time and the opportunity to do it.
Okay. Now,
But it's important, too, when you gauge people, it gives you room to focus on your production because it turns you going from one office to the other and moving around. But normally, it shouldn't have been expensive.
thank you very much, sir. And last but not the least, for the small business owner, is it mandatory you must have your trademark?
If you wish. It's not mandatory for small
Okay.
business.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Why you need, most times, why they ask you for your trademark is to secure the name. Yes, when you have a trademark to a name, you can do cake A. There's cake A, there can be cake B. But if you don't have a trademark, anybody can come and do the same A because they can't find it anywhere. It's not registered anywhere. There's not a binding document to it. So that's why trademark is very important. And on their list, if you go to their office, they will tell you trademark where applicable. That applicable depends on you. Yes, but for an upcoming, you can just get your number, but to have it back of your mind. As you are growing, you need to secure your brand name with trademark.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
A round of applause for him. I think it's worthy of mention that Mr. Kenneth will be with us after now for the breakout session. We'll have room for one-on-one consultation. So if you want to drill in further to ask, or get him to walk you through your registration process, he's very much around to do that. But we'll take one or two other questions and then we can move. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. I wanted to ask that the facility inspection, right? What does it entail? Because I've heard things like size, or your production space should be how many meters away from probably the sewage area and things like that. I think it would be nice to also know what it entails, so that you're not just going into and you don't have a proper facility, maybe a small place for production and it's not NAFDAC worthy.
Okay. For a micro business, 1 to 5 man business, even your kitchen is enough for you to do what you want to do. For the fact it's not close to toilet, bathroom, gutter, or whatever around it, you can do it, and it needs to be neat, and it's neat. So for 1 to 5 man business, so they advise. That's why NAFDAC created an office in Oshodi, in one of their offices in Oshodi. They call it LSO, Lagos State Office, where micro people with the upcoming businesses can come and they will attend to them based on their level. Yes. So they ask for more when they see you are big. And for you getting bigger, definitely you must be producing much. And so they don't expect you if you were in a one room before, they don't expect you to do when you have increased your process to remain in that place. So you have to create rooms. So for convenience and conducive. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So I have a product and the manufacturing site is not here.
Okay.
So if I want to process my NAFDAC, how do they, like the inspection, do I have to be maybe the facility packaging where I do the packaging, or it has to be like in the village where it's being manufactured?
Okay. You have to, okay, you mean for the inspection?
Because mine is like a facility company.
Okay.
I do the packaging here, but the manufacturing is not here.
Okay, they go to the manufacturing site. Okay, the manufacturing is, okay, what you do is just packaging. Yes. You have a manufacturer agreement with a manufacturer.
Yes.
So all you do, you package here.
Is a product palm oil?
Okay, palm oil. They don't need to go. They will come to where you package it.
Okay.
Yes. They will come to where you package
Thank you.
it. They don't need to go to the village. Because, or wherever it is. Since you are not the producer and the product is an exceptional to other products, maybe you want to see how they cook it, that goes through other process. Palm oil cannot easily be understood. So the packaging that matters there, they will have to come to where you package it. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Are there ways and means of identifying a fake NAFDAC number? If you see a product and you're looking at the number.
Authentication,
Yeah,
verification, yeah.
Verification.
Without going to the NAFDAC office.
There's no way.
No portal where we can authenticate.
There's you go to the NAFDAC website.
Okay.
If you go to the website,
Right?
yeah, you click, you typed and search. Okay. It gives you information. Yes. If you are not getting what you want, it will give you a direction or a call to where to place a call or who to call to confirm.
Good afternoon. So my question is this. Okay, there was a time I wanted to buy something and it was like a month to expiring. And the person tried to convince me that even after 3 months, it could be consumed. And I wasn't okay with that. So I want to know how safe is it?
Yeah, actually, it can be safe, but for me, I would still advise you don't buy it. But they will tell you it's safe. So what NAFDAC do in most cases, they expect the manufacturer to take it back to do a revalidation on the product. They are supposed to be in a revalidation on the product. Yes. But normally, it can still. There are some, depends on the content, there are some that stays 6 months. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have any one? We can take just one more. Any other? Okay, Mr. Kenneth.
Let me
Okay.
just quickly ask one question. So if you have a business that isn't yet registered with NAFDAC,
Yeah.
but you trademarked the name like years back,
Okay.
and then all of a sudden somebody else starts a business with that same name, and NAFDAC comes to shut down your own, how do you resolve? Because this is a problem that a friend's company is currently having. They trademarked a product name, but they didn't register it with NAFDAC.
NAFDAC.
Somebody else now went and registered with NAFDAC with that same name. And NAFDAC is saying they should shut their own business down. But they are claiming they already trademarked this name years back.
Well, in a situation like this, there's an office of NAFDAC. I'm sure they are the one that came to seal up. You just tender your case
Okay.
with a backup of documents that shows after the investigation, if they find you not being the one that caused whatever that made them shut down or whatever, free. Okay, come again, sorry. Was there an issue?
No.
There was
the
no
only issue is that there
he's-
are two products with two different manufacturers
Yeah.
bearing the same name.
Name.
One is
trademarked.
registered with TCAC, while the other is with NAFDAC.
Yes.
Wow. In a case like this, to come to this needs to be.
Yeah, so maybe it's a recommendation that, organizations like yours can take further.
Yes.
Because nobody should register with NAFDAC without having a business name.
Business, yes.
Because it has to go through that route so that we don't have two conflicting,
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I think I should just add to what you've just said. I think you're right, because the essence of NAFDAC is to ensure that your product is under a regulation, supervised.
Yeah.
Food, in the US, it's FDA, Food and Drug Administration. And the FDA is such that you can, with the FDA license, you can actually trade and buy, sell anywhere in the world. So NAFDAC gives you that comfort, like he mentioned. And if you have issues like that, because I know the trademark, before you get to NAFDAC, you must trademark, like he said, and all that. So if the other company hasn't gotten NAFDAC license and NAFDAC will obviously close the one that doesn't have its license on it, because you are not under their regulation.
Yeah.
You understand? So if you're not under a regulation, and you can't even sell your product on the shelf. So it has to be under regulation for you to enjoy the goodwill of NAFDAC. So you're not, okay? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to get a different name, because you can't have two same names on a product. And it's trademark. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Excuse me.
We had a similar experience, like for my wife's business, because she has a NAFDAC license. And the shop we went to supply was like, the distributor's company is a different company. And the product is a different product. But there's a distributor, which is also a subsidiary company, you understand? So the guy said, no, that we need to get that company registered with NAFDAC. So if it's, let's say, Molunch Distributors Limited is selling Molunch products. You understand? One of the major shops in Lagos, in VIA, and we're like, no, this distributor is a different entity, just selling the product. They said, no, that it has to be this distributor producing under a NAFDAC license Molunch XYZ product. So it has to. They say, I think for NAFDAC, it saves them a whole lot. It protects the institution and the brand itself, which you are selling.
Okay.
Okay, maybe you have a different opinion.
I have a question, and I don't know if there's any lawyer here, right? Because if you ask me, there's trademark infringement. If I have registered a trademark, it doesn't matter whether you want to use it for food or airline, right? The trademark is registered. So if you're going to use my trademark for your food, and it's something that lawyers and they should go and resolve legally. Because there's trademark infringement, that's first, and there's whether I have food license or registration with NAFDAC. So there are two issues that are joined. It should be discussed legally. So have a lawyer discuss that, and somebody who's who's knowledgeable about trademarks and all of that. Because like she said, you registered a trademark years ago and you kept it.
You kept it,
right?
and someone else
is using it. there's a small country somewhere, you know, that has the name .ai.
Okay.
Right? You know how you have .com. Now they registered .ai years ago. You know how we have .ng. Now AI is now a big deal, right? Any website that is .ai pays them. So if you registered your trademark and it has been duly registered legally, seek legal counsel.
Just another question to what he, talked about.
Okay.
So is NAFDAC not supposed to make sure that any business that they are regulating or that they are registering under their own system is already registered as a business?
No.
So I think that should be the criteria. I think it's
NAFDAC wouldn't know.
Yeah. No, if what NAFDAC is registering are businesses.
Business.
They are just regulating their processes, their hygiene and all that, and making sure that is good for consumption.
Yeah.
So, but that business, first of all, should have been registered with CAC. So I think it's just like I want to do PhD.
Yeah.
First of all, I should have a first degree and a master's before doing PhD. So I cannot just go and say, I have money to pay you, give me PhD. So I think there should be, maybe it's a recommendation that needs to go back to them. Because I don't think that should be a problem. The person that registered the business first should be the owner of the business.
Well, like the best of my knowledge, NAFDAC if a trademark belongs to another person and another person is using it, it's very difficult for NAFDAC to know. The only thing NAFDAC knows is the product itself, which they are registering. But when it comes to the company names and all that, you find it difficult. NAFDAC don't keep record of trademarks. What they keep record is product name, which they must have given number.
Okay. So I think his recommendation is there a way? Maybe this is a recommendation that we can take further.
Yes.
To NAFDAC or to the body.
Yeah.
Is there a way that NAFDAC can insist that every registration that they're going to be registering, any business they're going to be regulating must have gone through CAC setup? Because that's what will resolve what DK had said. Okay. Imagine setting up, securing a trademark, and then it's just there. And someone who is in oblivion, who does not know about that trademark, goes and re-registers that same name with NAFDAC. It's a conflict of,
But in this situation, I find it difficult for a company to register a trademark or a name. The name of the owner of the trademark should be there. And then when you're registering a product, this is a product of, this health...
Zobo.
Yes. So based on that, the NAFDAC can only know if this trademark belongs to Zobo and the juice is bringing it. We're like, what is the connection between...
Sorry, sir.
So I just want
So another thing is, right,
So
the name was registered probably when the business hasn't even started. They just, okay.
Sorry, we can have a one-on-one session.
Yes. I was going to say that.
Barrister wants to
Yeah.
add something.
Okay, we have a legal counsel in the house, so maybe he can come in from here.
Generally speaking, I would say if someone wants to start up a business, the first compliance level the person must ensure is CSC.
Yes.
Be it product or normal service you want to give. That is CXC.
CSC.
Then upon CXC did not give you the permission or the legal binding power that this business is being fully registered, because after registering with CXC, under the registration process, there is normal business name and company name. You can register as a business name, but you cannot run as a company. You can run as a company when you must have that insight to run a subsidiary under your businesses. Like Mr. A registered to trade like Kingsley Consult Limited. Under Kingsley Consult Limited, I'm running Zobo business. I'm running clothing brand. I'm running real estate. I'm running several things, these things. I cannot register as a business name. I will register as a group of companies. This will give me further insight to now trademark my name. If I must have seen that this business will will grow so big in the next 1 year. After trademarking your business and you have a product name, or maybe you have a consumable goods like Zobo and you are running real estate, this will now take you further to more compliance level like NAFDAC. You will now visit NAFDAC to register that particular product you are doing, like people consume, like be it Shin Chin or Zobo. After registration with NAFDAC. But before that, if you want to secure that business brand, you must first of all trademark it, because you cannot claim a business you have not trademarked in law. Pursuant to Section 12 of the NAFDAC Act, you cannot claim it, be it anywhere or in law. So after further trademark, because that trademark will now give NAFDAC's people further insight that the business is being trademarked, because if someone else comes with that business name, they will now tell the person that this business name has been trademarked. No other person that can use this business name. You can equally choose what they will show you options. Even upon the registration process, they will show you the options. So generally speaking, CAC is another level, is first compliance. NAFDAC is another compliance. But if you want to safeguard those business names, you must trademark it. If not trademarked, it will cause an infringement. Infringement simply means a similar names that is contagious to two business names. But it's left for the NAFDAC to tell you that this one has been trademarked. Choose other options. This is the way to go about it legally.
A round of applause for Barrister. Barrister, I put it to you under section that you have well deposited. A round of applause for him. Okay. All right. Like we earlier said, Ms. Kenneth would be with us after the panel session just for further engagement. You want to drill into some of the things that he had, raised one-on-one. How do you properly go around, setting up your NAFDAC registrations and all. He will be on ground to, entertain all of that. So let's, give him a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Mr. Kenneth. It was very insightful having you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm not here alone. Working with me today is a very beautiful woman, who is very exceptional in what she does. She's a marketplace professional. Please help me welcome Ifeoma DK. Thank you.
All these hype.
Thank you.
Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Hope we're enjoying the session so far. So we're going to enter another segment. Who was listening? I hope you were listening. Oh. There are prizes to be won. So let me just come this way.
I like the sound of that.
There are prizes to be won, and we have a few questions. And Mr. Kenneth will be there to verify if your answer is correct or if it's wrong. So who can tell me 2 reasons why labeling is important?
Yeah, he mentioned it.
He mentioned it too. Said it, he even gave up to 6 or 7 reasons.
Is there a price for this?
This one, we are going to give like some heavy recharge card.
I saw some people jotting earlier.
Heavy. Like that now that we know that data is like it goes like water. So let's help you up your data balance. Mommy, so can we give mommy a mic, please? If anybody I don't think we're going to call you. So 2 reasons why labeling is important.
She's like, I would like to sit.
No problem.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, why you have to label your products? One is that, it will create an awareness in the marketplace that this is a product you're manufacturing, you're producing. And then secondly, it gives you credit, it gives confidence to the buyers and to the market.
You gave us a summary answer. We wanted specific, but I'll give it to you. Thank you very much. Round of applause for mommy, please. Thank you, ma.
Yeah, labeling gives direction to whoever is buying, and also gives the public the name of the product, so that the public will know the actual products they bought, and in case they're coming back again to buy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you. So that's 10,000 naira recharge card.
Come on now.
You see?
Come on now.
Answer question.
We're not joking. Don't play.
Answer questions. You see, we are not here to play today. We are distributing.
It's money talks.
Money talks.
So everything we're doing today is money. It's either you're buying or you're receiving or you're selling.
Okay.
Amen.
So, can somebody tell me what are the 3 things that NAFDAC looks for when you're applying for a certificate?
See hands now everywhere.
Okay, 3 things. Number 1, they look at your environment. First. Secondly, they look at your hygiene, how neat your processing or your production processes are. Then thirdly, they look at the ingredients you use, whether they are safe for consumption or they are harmful to human health.
Ify, what do you think? Should
Thank
we?
you. No, but she gave the answers. Don't you
Correct.
think?
A round of applause
Correct.
for Diane.
No, Frances.
Frances. Oh.
So we have 3.
Diana's, okay.
So we have 3 winners: Mrs. Eno, Mrs. Choma, and then Miss Diane. No gentleman. Nobody wants to collect this money. You were waiting. Apologies. I didn't look this way. Let me come this way.
Okay.
I've already done some winners this way, so I'll stand this way. Okay. They mentioned. I don't think I should ask you this question.
Yes.
The hands would go.
I agree.
The hands would go up very quickly.
I agree. Even though I don't know the question.
Okay. So the certificate is given based on the level of your business. What's the minimum?
That's deep.
No, not years, as in terms of years.
You
What's the minimum?
needed to jot before you get this one. If you didn't jot, I doubt.
Yes.
Wow,
Thank
a round of
you.
applause for him.
Thank you, Courage. So this is how many have we done so far? 4. So one more of GHP.
Yes.
What's that?
That's too easy. That's too easy.
I know it was very easy.
Anti-I.
Who should I?
Oh my God. I see a hand over there. Oh. I see a hand.
Please direct me. Which should I go? This way? This way? Because everybody seems to have their hands up.
Let the Holy Spirit direct you.
No. The 10K really wants to go to everybody.
Oh my
at
God.
At this point.
For the benefit of those in front.
No.
Okay, there's a hand there. Joy. There's Joy.
She's browsing it.
Wow, no. That's Mbo. No Mbo. No bullets.
Good hygiene practice.
Good hygiene what?
Practice.
Practice.
Yeah.
Mr. Kenneth, a round of applause for her.
Woo! So well done. You guys have been awesome listeners. So please, after this, come and meet me for your gift.
Wow.
But we are...
Wow.
Sorry, sir.
This is about taking your product to the lab for analysis. I see that's where your packaging must be corrected, information needed must be corrected, and the ingredients. That's where now they dictate. If there are any of the ingredients list on your label is harmful to human consumption, they may ask you to remove it and look for a similar, if you wish, to replace it with. Just like some people that add, there are some products that that you do with more sugars. There are some other ingredients, material that you can put together that can give you that sugar. So they will, at times they don't accept it, mostly for the people that produce bread. So these are another thing I said. Let me add to my explanation.
Thank you very much, sir. So thank you, and congratulations to all our winners. And we hope that you participate in the next round of questions.
Thank you. A round of applause for my co-moderator. She came with money vibes. Just sprayed money everywhere. Doings. Amen. Okay, so we're moving on to the meat of, it's getting heavier, it's getting, intense. So we're going to be having a panel session now. And we have seasoned panelists who have been put together, assembled to give us seasoned and not just like, I believe it was DK that said it earlier, not just the talk, but people who have walked the talk. Amen. Are we ready? Just a second. Okay, media, if you can help us project. So first on our panel this afternoon is a distinguished pastor. He wears many hats. Most of you don't know this side of his, his many hats. So he is a seasoned marketplace professional. He is the Chief Operations Officer of Nobus Cloud Services. He's a visionary in the cloud computing, helping shape the future of digital infrastructure in Africa. As the Chief Operating Officer, COO of Nobus Cloud Services, he is committed to delivering cutting-edge cloud solutions that empower businesses to scale globally. He is also a seasoned technology solution strategist and a business consultant. Based in Lagos, Nigeria, Stephen is at the forefront of driving innovation, security, efficiency in the cloud industry. His mission is to bridge the gap between local hosting and world-class performance, enabling African enterprises to thrive in their digital era. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome none other than your pastor, my pastor, Pastor Stephen Okoye. I know he doesn't like some of these eulogies, but of course, we have to do what we have to do. Amen. All right. Next up, we have a seasoned fashion lord. Someone who, when you see him, you see, his appearance speaks volumes. Never cuts. Come on now. Come on now. All right. So please help me welcome all the way from Caddy House of Clothing, Mr. Chukwu Kadibia Eze Anyanwu. He holds a degree in public administration and began the journey in fashion while still in school in 2017. He officially launched his first brand, Caddy House of Clothing, which later evolved into Caddy Clo Aratia, if I'm correct. Atilia, my bad. He also founded Shop Aqua. Shop Aqua. I'm sorry, I'm working on my Igbo-ness. Expanding, his footprint in the fashion industry. He is a costumier, a fashion stylist, and brand consultant with experience styling notable personalities. His costume design credits include popular productions like Shanty Town on Netflix and Fairy Tale Wedding on Showmax. He has trained at Faith Foundation School, a fashion school in Abuja, and also attended CI Fashion School. In addition to the styling and design, he consults for fashion brands, helping them build and set up their businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Chukwu Kadibia Ezianyanwu. I told you all, when you see him, you see fashion. Right. Okay. Next stop is a business guru. You know, who are bringing people who have not just experience, but not just knowledge or theory, but people who have walked the talk. Mr. Joshua Ihechukwu is a seasoned entrepreneur with over 6 years of experience in business and strategic planning. As the CEO of Janago Blocks and Bricks, he has helped several construction companies achieve their building goals by ensuring quality supplies of building blocks, bricks, sand, granite, etc. He has the passion for consistency and rapid growth in business and exceeding performance targets. Joshua is known for quality and excellence in the construction space. He is also a certified project manager and a human relations expert. He is based in Lagos. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome, all the way from Janago Blocks and Bricks, Mr. Joshua Ihechukwu. Come on now. And last but not the least, you can't have all men and it has to be some balance. These are next panelists is the founder and CEO of Mo Launch Enterprise and Confectionery. Mrs. Ngozi Bisong is the founder CEO of Mo Launch Enterprise and Confectionery, a food and pastry company with products like Janina, Chin Chin, cakes, and newly launched food brand Akara and Pap Breakfast Delight, a homemade delight for early risers. This is where I come in. Amen. Okay. She brings in over 10 years experience in pastry production and management. Come on now. Her desire to venture into the food and pastry business was bettered based on her love, passion, and desire to put smiles on people's faces after a taste of her product. Ngozi is a graduate of banking and finance from the University of Calabar with both local and international training in cake and pastry management. Married and blessed with 2 lovely children, Nina and Jason. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me make welcome, all the way from Mo Launch Enterprise Confectionaries, Mrs. Ngozi Bisong. Good to have you, our panelists. We have one more introduction. Please, let's welcome the moderator for this panel session. None other than your pastor, my leader. He's also a business guru. He leads. Please make welcome Pastor Justin Ike. Thank you.
Please, can we have more mics here? Let's have more mics here, please. All right. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sirs. Good afternoon, Ma. We've been having a good time so far, right? Okay. So I'm sure that by the time we are done today, some of us here will be maybe telling some other people that didn't make it, wow, I didn't know it was going to be like that. I didn't know it was going to be like that. Anyway, so it's good that you will be saying it, having experienced it, not missing it. The others would be expecting the next episode. They'll be waiting for the next episode. So it's good that you are here. So please help me turn to somebody sitting beside you and tell the person congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations. Okay. So in the next few minutes, we are going to, my responsibility here is to midwife the process of gleaning everything gleanable out of these amazing people here. So they've had some experience, they've had some hands-on experience. You know, it is said that experience is the best teacher, but then not your experience. Your experience is not the best teacher, because there are some experience that you have yourself. You will not live to learn from it. So you don't have to you don't have to have all the experience by yourself. So you can learn from other people's experience, because either way, experience is the best teacher. It doesn't have to be your own experience. So what we are going to be doing in this session is we are going to be listening to them share their experiences in some areas, and then we'll learn as much as possible. So I'm going to ask a few questions, from time to time, but then the questions majorly will be coming from all of us. So you heard their profile. They are business owners. They are people that have done stuff. They have grown businesses from scratch. They've, made mistakes. They've learned. They've expanded. They've done different things. And they have a lot of things that they can talk about that we can learn from. So some of us that have questions, please, if you don't want to stand up to ask your question, you can also write it down and pass it to an usher, and then we'll do justice to those questions. I wanted to say amen. All right, so we'll go straight into it. How many of us here are business owners? Okay, how many of us are business people? You have business in your, you have business share, but you're not owning it yet. How many of us are career people? Career people? Okay. So this whole thing is not only for business owners or entrepreneurs, it's for everybody, both career and business owners. So, okay. So the first question I'd like to ask through to, so I'm just kicking the ball, getting the ball rolling, so that those of us that are, some of us can start bringing up our questions. So the question is supposed to come from this way. All right. Okay, my first question would be, in a nutshell, because I think that sometimes people want to do something, they have an idea, and the thought of starting it can be a huge problem. Getting it from conceptualizing to actual practice can be a huge challenge. So I'd like us to maybe in the next few seconds, just tiny bit, just share with us how you started. First of all, how did you get to know that you were going to do this? And then how did you start? So I think let's start from you, ma. Ladies first. Let's start from you, ma. So at what point did you realize that I'm going to be a business person? And then how did you start?
Okay. I was actually born in a family of a baker. So I had the passion for it.
Please, can we have a little more volume on that mic?
So I had passion for that. So I actually started when I was done with school. I worked briefly. So when I got married,
I couldn't cope. So my husband advised, probably since I have passion for this, I should go and get more knowledge. So I enrolled, that was how I started. So, but along the line, while I was working, because I was working as a sales executive, so while I was working, I was doing my business by the side. I actually started with chin-chin. I was now learning how to do cake and all that. So most times when I go out for marketing, when I'm done marketing as in where I was working, when I'm done with that, I switch over to my business. I'm always carrying it, just like the way they say, you carry your CV if you're looking for a job, you carry your CV all the time. So I was always with my chin-chin. That's how I started. So I was able to break into banks because I studied banking and finance. So what I had in mind was to work in a bank. So relating with them wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem. So I walk into a bank, I market both my products, and so that's how I actually started.
Okay. Wow. Thank you, ma. So one of the things you please can we put our hands together for this song? Okay, so one of the things you hear she talked about, apart from the passion that she got from her upbringing, but at the time she was ready to go into it, she said the first advice she got was get knowledge. Go and get more knowledge on this area, more knowledge. So that is very key, very important. Amen. Okay. Janago.
All right. How I knew I was supposed to be, I'm supposed to be an entrepreneur. Growing up, I actually grew up in a family of business. My eldest brother then owned a boutique. And, when I go to school, come back, I would join him in the business, assist him, make some sales. And gradually, I started developing love for it. Apart from his own business, I'll even go out, if we don't have it, if maybe a customer comes to buy something, we don't have that particular thing the customer wants to buy at a time, I'll go out, get it, come and sell it, and the profit on it, I'll keep it. So gradually, I was making money, I made money early enough, and that actually made me develop love for business. And even when I went to school, I was doing small business, in school and making small change. Then I graduated. Even what I studied in school, I studied business admin just to show how much I loved to do business. So I had to even do that to facilitate or grow more in that. So I graduated and I now wanted to start up. I didn't have capital to start up. I didn't have anybody to give me, money to start what I wanted to do. I didn't have a rich uncle to give me money. Neither did I have rich parents. So what I did starting, I just met one man in Lagos, Alaba then. I now spoke to him. I told him, okay, please, sir, can you just give me the privilege of making sales for you? Because I just had that initiative. I opened an online store, Jumia to be precise. I opened an online store without a dime on me. I just created that site, owned a store personally. And I went to this man's shop. snapped his, his goods, different kinds of goods he had then, uploaded it on that platform, and claimed the products. So the customer will come, buy from me, I will sell, make profit, and return the man's money. So that was how I kept raising capital gradually, to an extent that I was able to buy goods on my own and start up.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow. 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 That is huge. So for some of us that are looking for capital, God told Moses, what do you have in your hand? The prophet told that woman, is it the Shunammite woman or I think it's the one that multiplied oil. Yes. Yeah, one of the women. So he asked her, what do you have in your house? So there's always something we can do to take ourselves from point A to point B, even when there is no other person around you that can help you. So he set up a business, a full business, a virtual business. A full, and then was snapping people's goods and posting, selling and collecting money. Drop shipping. Is that what they call it? Oh, wow. Drop shipping. Maya Kanda. Drop shipping. Okay. So that's a good one. All right. My sponsor.
Praise the Lord. For me, how I knew I was going to go into business, that was the question, right? I would say I didn't know I didn't know I was going to go into business or into entrepreneurship because I know that I had love for fashion, do you understand? And initially I wasn't thinking that the love would give me money. I was literally doing it because I really loved the idea of, dress up. I just love dress up. I love to look good. I love to wear nice clothes. I think my mom always said sometimes that I'm the only person when they buy clothes for, I don't complain. Like, even if it's bogus, I know what to do with it. So my mom will always say, tell my sisters that you people will always complain that you don't like the color, you don't like this, you don't like this, very big, it's very, but me, whenever I wear my clothes, I don't complain. I will be very happy because in my head, as I'm seeing the clothes, I'm already thinking, what should we match it? What top will I have that will work with this? How do I tie this shoulder so that it will look nice? So basically, that was how the passion started for me. And from there, I had this guy that was sewing clothes in front of my house then when we were still small. I go there, I learn how to use a manual sewing machine. So he will always allow me to use his machine to sew. Sometimes he even cut for me and I'll sew. And from there, I moved from there to entering the university. University, I said, when I go to school, wear my stuff, people were like, where is this from? Where did you buy this? And I made it. So I started buying stuff. I started buying, I even started off as selling fabrics because I was sell fabric then. Have this group of girls in my school that love to shall wear clothes. So whenever I go to market, I buy lots of fabric and I pair them. I package them, pay them, package them. They still do that now, where you buy, all this to match thing. You buy print and then buy plain, and then just package it in packing nylon, and then you come. From the gate itself, I finished selling my markets because everybody will be like, come to my room, come, I want to buy, come, don't go to this person's place. And that's how I started selling. From there, I started making shirts with those fabric. Then that's how I started marketing to men, because guys started also wanting to buy. Where is this shirt from? And then from there, I started selling. And I think that was when I realized that I can actually make money from these things. I'm already making money from it. I didn't have to ask my parents for pocket money. Once they give me what they give me, I carry the whole pocket money, I go to the market and I double it by buying that whole money. I buy fabrics and I come back to school and resell them. That was how I was making money to buy my textbooks. My mom will always ask me, how are you even doing these things? You don't even come and ask me for money. That's how I started my own business. And from there to where I am now.
Wow. Please, round of applause. Thank you. Wow. From something you like to do as leisure, just fun, something you just like to do, to something that can earn you money, to business. So I think that is a good way to live sometimes. When you are, it is said that if you are able to find, you're able to make money out of your extracurricular activities. The things they call extracurricular activities. It's something you like doing. Nobody pushes you to do it, and yet you are making money off it. So some of us should start thinking in that line too. Some of us are looking for businesses to go into. All right, thank you, sir. Sir, how did Nobus Cloud? How did this come about? When did you know?
Okay.
And how did it start?
Well, I think for me there are two phases of my life. The first phase was school days, just like he mentioned. I fell in love with computers. So I think growing up through school, I was repairing computers for lecturers, and for students. Those days they would say, I read computer engineering, I read electronic engineering. It's basically computer engineering. Those days they would give us programs to write. I'll write it in 3 languages. And I had a printer. So my classmates will come, I'll ask them which language you want to use to write the test. They'll tell me, I'll give them what I've already written, print it. So I was making money from school. And then that's how the love for computers for me started. And I became interested. I started studying technology and all that. So fast forward to after school, and then my major driver was not really technology anymore after school. It was money. I wanted to make money. That was the major, and I started working in the tech space. And at some point in my career, I discovered a niche that the big companies were not looking at, as a solution they could provide to businesses. I tried talking to my company at that time if they can provide this kind of services. They were not interested. The management were not interested. Even the regular people that we were talking to were not interested. So I said, okay, let me try and see if this thing will work. So I started investing my extra time into I did a couple of things actually, so started investing my time into the things I believed or the solutions I believed could work. It took about 2-3 years, but eventually we now got a prototype that worked. I may not be able to go into the details of what happened during that process, the level of sacrifice that we went through, but it was a combination of knowing that you can have something that you own, because being in the technology space in Nigeria, what almost every company is doing is reselling foreign technology. So your ERP systems are foreign, your CRM systems are foreign, your laptops are foreign, everything inside it is foreign. So every company, every time you see somebody with a laptop using Microsoft Word or using whatever application, the person is actually paying foreign companies for using the technologies here. So, and I did that for years because that's what we were doing. We are selling technology. So we go, learn how to use technology, come down to Nigeria, and because we now know it better than most people, we now sell it to them. So I decided to take a different trajectory, and that was why ours was a bit difficult. We decided to follow the path that China and India, today is following. And that is, I like to use paracetamol as an example. You know what paracetamol is? Every company in the world now knows the formula for paracetamol. It's no longer a secret patent, it's now open. Yeah. So you can either choose whether you want to speak to Fitsin or speak to Emzo and import Emzo paracetamol, or you can go and build your own lab and use the formula and produce paracetamol. So in our own case, we chose to stop importing that technology. We now went to the engineering of the technology, re-engineered it, and today we are selling the technology. Indigenous. So that is how, that's why it was more difficult for us, because we could have just taken the Emzo route and, sold paracetamol. That is already existing. So we'll be competing with other partners of Emzo. But what we are doing today is unique in Africa. So it is, for us, the niche that we have. We didn't know it was going to be this big when we started, but a couple of things happened. Regulations came into effect, and the business now took off. So, but for us, it was a combination of trying to make a change and also trying to look for a way to make money.
Very important. Please, can we give Pastor Steve a round of applause? Every businessman wants to make money, no matter how the passion is. At the end of the passion, where is the money? Okay, so what Pastor Steve just took, in a nutshell for me, please drop this a bit, it's feeding back. In a nutshell, what Pastor Steve just spoke about is, apart from his flair for technology initially, he identified a problem and he thought of a way to solve it. It is said that resources move in the direction of problem solving. So if you want to attract resources, you find a problem and look for a way to solve it. So these are things that we need to be picking out as they are coming out. So that even if you have an already existing business, you start thinking of what problem is this business solving? If you've not defined the problems it is solving, maybe that's what is affecting your sales. Maybe that's what is affecting the growth of the business. So you need to start defining the problems that it could solve and then actually tailor it to solve those problems. Okay. All right. So do we have any questions from the audience yet? Okay, please bring the mic to Courage before we, I have other questions I want to pose to them, but let's take from the audience. Please get the mic here. Okay, no mic. Okay, let him use mine.
Thank you very much, sir. And good afternoon to my panelists. It's been awesome listening to you all tell us your story. And I think the two stories that I really resonate with are yours, because you are into the creative sector, just as I am. And then, sir, yours also, this question is particularly to you. You said something about discovering a system or a pattern, or a patent, sorry. Can I use that word? And then you tailored it and you made it indigenous. So I want to ask, what were the challenges you faced? Because how are you able to convince people now who are used to these foreign products to now patronize you? See, I just want to know the challenges you face. I don't know if I'm a bit faster, but I'm really, really curious. What are the challenges you face? Because I think I will also toe that line in a very, very short time from now. So I want to really understand the challenges you face and how you were able to overcome them. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. The challenges are still there. We have not overcome it. Of course, now. Just like we are all here, in Nigeria, we're trying to promote fashion. but this man is still wearing suits. If you go to Qatar, for example, in a formal meeting, you won't see them wearing suits. They wear their native, So for us in Nigeria, there is a certain mindset. It is going to take time. And that is what we are facing as well. We are facing lack of credibility. We are facing product authenticity issues. So you go and talk to a business that is consuming the same type of technology that you are consuming. The fact that you tell them that yours is cheaper, there is a mindset that happens in the mind of Nigerians that if that thing is cheaper, it's inferior. It's substandard. So, and that's one major challenge. There are several other challenges that we have. And another thing again is we are starting. If you compare us with the global brands, we are like an underdog. So we have not stood the test of time. We have not stood the test of quality in a long run. So I think for us, those are some of the challenges that we have. Then another major challenge today is, it depends on how you go about it. Today you hear of unicorns, you hear of companies that are starting up. You see sometimes on the news, this one has raised $1 million, this one has raised $2 million. So there are different approaches you can take to it. The truth is, some of these companies that we are competing with that have been there have deep pockets. You cannot outmarket them. You cannot spend more money on Google ads or ads, You can only rely and grow maybe organically if you don't have the kind of deep pockets that they have. And then you rely on making sure that you are delivering top quality in whatever product that you're delivering. So that word of mouth advertisement, word of mouth will now help your business keep spreading until probably it gets to a point where it will now explode. So those challenges for us are still there. It's an ongoing challenge that we are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So let me just, allow that.
Thank you, sir. Let them answer. The others are going to speak to you.
Yeah, maybe they will
address your. Okay, so let me, Chukal, I'll reroute the question this way for you. Were there times that you faced so much challenges that you thought of quitting on the dream? Were there, maybe you just felt, I get certificate too. Let me go and, at that point, what did you do? How did you, surmount that and still, and I mean, you are doing the thing now. You are doing fashion now.
I will say that time I actually worked. I actually dusted my certificate. I took a bank job for 6 months before I came back. But yes, there are times like that, and it feels like you're wasting your time, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're asking yourself, it's not like I failed though. I passed. I have a good certificate. So what am I doing here? Do you understand? And again, also that time was also, the challenge was so much in terms of capital. The amount of, when it comes to fashion, for me, the amount of things you do as a startup is not what you do over time. For a startup designer, you can't just start bidding clothes. You understand? Because you need a lot of capital to be able to bid. Do you understand? So you start small, and sometimes the idea you have in your head, what you want to really explore, designs you want to explore, you need to go all out. I don't have the finances to do that. So you need to actually get the capital. So there were times like that for me. Well, I had to go back. I went back to my drawing board, and I came back. I told myself that, we die here. It has to be this. We have to keep pushing it. Whatever we need to do, yes, I took a job. At the time I took a job, and I told myself that this job, I'm giving myself some amount of time to do this job and raise capital, and I resigned. And that's what I did. At the time, too, I had to also work for somebody, and I had to sign an agreement. I had to work for another fashion brand, and I had to sign an agreement for not to do anything related to fashion for myself. Then I had to do everything I'm doing is for their brand alone. And I did that because I needed the money to be able to start what I needed to start. So when I got there, what I needed, I resigned and started my thing. So there are times like that for me.
Okay, so it wasn't necessarily a giving up. It was a routing.
Yes, routing.
Yeah, you needed something and you found a way to get what you needed to get back to what you were doing. Yeah, so that is very important also. So you might be pursuing passion, and the passion is really not funding itself at the time. You might need to, do some other things. Just, I think some of the people that they usually say this to, maybe entertainers and maybe footballers, all these people that want to be a professional footballer, while you are honing the skill and hoping for the big break, can you be, there might be some other things that it doesn't mean you are giving up on the dream, on the passion, Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, let me also put the question in a different way. That same, on that same line for you, Joshua. So, have you had, of course, every entrepreneur at some point usually has had a dip, When you had a dip in business, you faced some challenges. What would you say are the specific things you did in practical terms? Specific things you did that helped you navigate from that dip back up to maybe what you have now?
Okay. To be sincere, I've encountered challenges in business, serious challenges, and as a matter of fact, I have run 2 different businesses. So by the time I wanted to switch to the other, which is what I'm basically doing now, the construction, it wasn't easy starting up because it's a very capital-intensive kind of business. So it actually got me thinking, and I was almost discouraged, to be sincere. But there's this scripture, which I also would like to read, that kept me going. 1 Corinthians 16:13. It says, "Be on guard, be firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong, and do everything with love." So that particular scripture, whenever I brood on it, kept me going. And I said to myself, you cannot give up now. You get? So, and one thing about me is that I'm a very resilient person. If I set my mind to do something, I do it, and I make sure I see the end of that thing. At least let it be that I tried. Even if I failed doing it, let it be that I tried. So what I did along the line, I met someone, and I decided to talk to the person. I partnered with the person. I started with partnership. Along the line, I was able to, because the terms of partnership with the person was, you make sales, you get a deal, you make sales, and you get a percentage, a cut from it. So what I did was that in the process, I raised money from it. And as God may have it, I got this guy one of the biggest deals he had ever had in his business so far. And from there, I was able to gather funds, which I was able to do something on my own. And also to add to that, even while I was partnering with this person, I also, because the kind of business is a business that you hardly do everything on your own, because you will get a deal to supply and you don't have all it takes. So I'll just have to step out, look for other vendors that can, I can get something from them and I will add up to what I have to do the supplies. So that was also what helped me to surmount majorly the financial challenge that I had then. Gradually.
That's partnership.
Yes, partnership. Gradually, I was able to raise some funds, to start on my own. And I also had relationships. That was another thing I leveraged on relationships, people that I knew were bigger than me in that space. I made friends with them. I talk to them. If I have a deal that is bigger than me at the moment, I'll talk to them. See, this is what is on point. Please, can we partner? Can we do this? And we'll do it together, and we split profits. Gradually, I was able to surmount the challenges. Thank you.
Wow. Please, a round of applause for that. Thank you. So what I got from what he said now is one, partnership. Partnership. Partnership is, in fact, should be the best friend of every entrepreneur. Partnership. A lot of things that it can solve. Partnership. And of course, there's so much about partnership. We want to start talking about partnership. There's so much to, unpack there. And also, he talked about relationships. Understanding that there are people you have around you that may have what you are looking for. That at that point, it is not what you do at that point that determines whether you get what they have that you are looking for. It is the way you have related with them over time that determines whether you'll be able to get what you are looking for at the time that you need it. So it is important that, Pastor has always talked about this, relationship, networking and all that. It is one thing that every one of us has to really, really pay deep attention to. The people around you, the person that might not be doing so much today might be somebody that you would need, might be your number one go-to person in the nearest future. So take relationships seriously, importantly. Thank you. Okay, Ma, please, let's also get your own input on that. How did you surmount the challenge of giving up? How did you, what are the things that made you tell yourself, no, I cannot? Did you think at some point, you said you had a job before. So, and I'm sure you had some steady income from there. At least every month, that so and so is coming. And then as an entrepreneur, sometimes you cannot say, especially when you are just starting. You can't, you have, sometimes people even just for you to get customers, you can even give, pay me later, and after a while, you've not seen money, goods have finished. They've not paid yet. So how did you scale through that phase, that starting phase, that struggling phase, and so we are talking practically now. So if there are things that you can bring out that can help us also. So things, for instance, did you have injection of funds from an external person? Did you put in more funds on your own? Did you do more marketing? Did you fast and pray? Did you, what did you do to take you from that carrying chin from shop to shop, from office to office to, it didn't take 15 minutes after you displayed there. People, they were almost carrying your table. So how did you?
Actually, there was a particular point in time that I felt like giving up. That was when I had my son. The whole burden was so much on my husband. And I was like, I'm not really doing so much. Is it not better for me to just carry my certificate and go and look for a job? But my husband, being a very strong support system that I had, he kept on encouraging me. I shouldn't give up.
Yeah, it's a good place to clap. He's a mighty man.
So he was able to he was able to put inject money. It wasn't much because we started small. So I didn't start like, when you need I remember my first mixer. I remember my first mixer he bought it for me as my birthday gift.
Oh my.
And it's been that way, each time my birthday comes, it's always like, he will put in something put in to support my business. As in me, I'm used to that. I always expect, my business. I'm not even looking at myself as in, So I actually felt like giving up, but he was there. He supported me with the little we started with. So I started with small mixer that could mix, I think like 2-liter mixer. I started small, and that was it. Another period that I wanted to give up was, when I go and sell my products, I carry it. There was this instance that I entered a bank. When I entered, I've been going to banks. So they actually told me that once I get there, I should just ask for the secretary. That the secretary will be the one to help me and all that. So any bank that I go to, I ask for the secretary. So there's this particular woman in Union Bank. When I got there, I asked for her. So when she came, I told her, that actually that I sell chin-chin. She said, no, please, this place is not a market. Please, you cannot sell chin-chin in the bank. That I should just go and stand at the gate. When the workers, when they are going, I should just be asking them, do you want to buy chin-chin? Do you want to buy chin-chin? I was like, Jesus Christ. I said, I'm actually a graduate of banking and finance. I know that you don't sell in the bank. But what I wanted to do was just to drop samples of my chin-chin and drop my number. Just help me pass it around. That anybody that wants can reach me. So I now gave her her own. She now put up a smile and took it from me. So, but, each time I walk into companies like that, I always get discouraged. But I didn't give up. When I got home, I actually left my phone in the room. I was in the kitchen. By the time I came back, I saw missed calls. So I now called. She was like, hey, madam, your people that they say you should bring the chin-chin or bring the chin-chin. I was like, sorry, ma, I can't bring it today. She was like, what of tomorrow? I said, tomorrow, no, I have other places. Because what I do is, each day, I have a particular, yes. So I was like, no, that I'm going to a papa, that I won't be able to. I was carrying my ginger. I was carrying it. I remember when I was even pregnant. When I was pregnant, to do chinchin wasn't like difficult for me. But I remember to do chinchin, I can do chinchin like a whole day. I was pregnant and I will have to like mix the chinchin, I will go and rest. I will come back again. I will touch it again, I will go and rest. That's how I will continue till it will take me a whole day. So I will bring out another day to package it. I will bring out another day to go out. So because
it's important we get this kind of details because some people think that entrepreneurship is just lounging. No. Just lounge, you have your own business. Like Pastor usually says, if you don't have the character to stay on a thing, no external drive. The drive is all coming from inside. Mm-hmm. Thank you, ma. Go ahead, ma.
So I will bring out another day that I will go to all those places because it was my first pregnancy, I was always feeling weak. So I'll bring out another day to go out, to go and sell and all that. So that's how I was doing. But when I had my second baby, I actually felt I should go and look for a job. How will I support my husband with this chin-chin? Some of the supermarkets that I go to, they will tell me, oh, you don't have NAFDAC, you don't have barcode. No, we can't take it. There's this particular supermarket. It was my senior in secondary school. They are the ones that own the supermarket. So I went and met her. She was like, okay, that I can bring. When I now took it, I didn't meet her. I met the manager. The manager was like, no, NAFDAC, no, we cannot take it, or we cannot. I said, but your madam said I should. He said, but the Oga said that they should not take any change without NAFDAC and all that. I was like, God. So all these instances that I had, I felt like giving up. Till when I finally got my NAFDAC. It was a game changer.
Wow. Okay, that was your game. That was what changed the entire trajectory for you.
Yes.
The NAFDAC registration.
Yes. And another instance is the cake. When I started doing cake too, at times I would do cake, the feedback I get, I feel like giving up. My husband would tell me, his own is he would tell me how it is. He doesn't even like sugarcoat it. Oh, let me not feel bad. He would tell me, sweetie, this cake, no. As in, my daughter, because they grew, as in they've grew into the business, so they know. And most times, my husband will buy all these things, bring it home. Okay, let's have a taste. Let's see how this thing tastes. This is a baker that did this and all that. So even my kids, if I bake any new products now, once they tell me, Mommy, I don't sell it. I will bake, I will call them. If my husband is not around, they're around, I'm okay. I will call them, please, come and have a taste. Is it okay? They will tell me, it is, but. So, that particular instance, that customer complained like this, So I now came to my husband. I was thinking that my husband would support me and say, okay,
He now finished.
He finished me. He just finished me like this. So my daughter too was like, Mommy, My son was like, Mommy, but the thing is that he saw that I was actually feeling so bad. So he was like, Mommy, don't worry. That at least when they eat the cake, inside the cake, it tastes better. That they will not remember the decoration and all that. Please. So at those instances, I felt like giving up. So my husband was like, no, you need to, keep getting knowledge. You need to get better. So I now started going for training. I was opportune to travel out for a training. I did the ones I did locally here and all that.
Wow. So the major challenges that you had were quality-based and also acceptance-based. So when the NAFDAC registration dealt with acceptance, and then more training dealt with quality.
Yes.
Please, can we put our hands? Yes, sir, please.
Okay, I just wanted to add to what she has said, which is very important. If you glean on her experience and China and India, especially China, there is this notion in Nigeria about Chinese products. In those days growing up, that they were fake.
Yes.
But today, all of us, are almost every gadget you get,
made in China,
and they are quality.
Yes.
So that tells us that you don't have to perfect your product before you start. Just start. As you are getting those feedbacks, keep on improving.
Yes.
And then, one other thing that she mentioned, in our company too, we started like that. We had mistakes and all that. Certification or certificate for the product is very important. Today we have ISO certification. One of those experiences she talked about in her own business. In our own case, we walked to a bank. I think it was DK that recommended that bank, 9PSB. The first thing the guy told us is, do you have PCI DSS certification? PCI DSS is a certificate that financial institutions use before they can host their infrastructure anywhere. That infrastructure has to be certified with that standard. We did not have it. So the conversation did not even begin. So those things made us feel bad, but we went back. Today we have that certification. Yeah. We started talking to government parastatals. Everybody was saying, do you have NDPR, Nigerian Data Protection? We don't have. We went and got it. Today so you need to get those certifications. It's what guarantees or tells businesses that want to deal with you that you have some level of control and seriousness in doing your business. So even if you don't have it starting, at some point, go and get it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, I want to ask one more question, and then maybe we'll get back to the, harvest the questions that we have from the audience. I want to ask Chuka first, and then if any other person that wants to contribute to this particular question can also contribute. I'm asking you because your kind of business interacts more directly with clients, more directly as in hands-on. So you almost always meet your clients, every client one-on-one, almost always. So how do you deal with difficult clients? Who wants to know? Clients that are hard to please, clients that are hard to impress. When there are some clients that when they don't have money, you are expensive. They don't like you for that. When they make money, you are too small for them. They go for the bigger. There's just some clients that are hard to. So how do you deal with difficult clients?
So I will start with, I think it was in March, I was going to be arrested by a customer. And so the thing about this arrest, I'm going to give you the story, is that it's very funny, but what saved me was documentation. Do you understand? Sometimes when customer wants to have, it's good to have consultation and all of those things, do Zoom calls and everything. Sometimes chat. Chat is very important because it helps with documentation. So when you're referencing everything she says, or because this was a bride getting married, and then she wanted me to make something for the husband. So she had come to say what she wanted, and we were going back and forth. She would call me on the phone. She was abroad, and then we exchange. When she finished talking, I'll go back to send her a message. So based on our conversation, you said that this and this and this and this should go like this. He said yes, absolutely. Okay, you want stone? She said I want stone. And I said, I'll send pictures. This is what stoning looks like. This is what beading looks like. This is what appliques looks like. So which one are we going for? So I did not know what it means. Now I understand. I want stoning. Okay. Do you want the stoning like this? Do you want something like that? So now this customer comes back, and then I tell the customer she's in Nigeria. She said she wanted to come and do fitting. At the time I was not in Lagos. I had gone for a funeral in New York. I had to come back because before I traveled, I told this customer, I gave her an appointment date to come and fit, and she said she's going to come. And the next thing, she sent her husband, and the husband came. We fitted the
fit her address.
Yes,
her husband.
It was husband. It was husband. She was all the conversation is for her husband, not for her.
Okay.
The man was not talking to me. It was wife talking to me. So the wife, most with the weddings, the women are always the ones deciding what they want their husband to look like. So, the husband came, fitted the clothes. Of course, we did a virtual measurement. So the man had gone to carry weight. So the muzzle has gone beyond. We had the measurement say in November last year. The man, when he came for fitting in March, the muzzle has gone so big, like 3 inches bigger than what it was used to be. So the hand of the suit didn't fit. So they said, the man fitted the pants. Okay, but is there anything you want us to change? He said, everything is fine, but just adjust the suit. I said, I don't think we can adjust the suit to make a new one. He said, okay, no problem. I understand. I told the wife, he said, you made, long story short, let me not bore you with that story. We had to go and make the suit. And I said, please come back for another fitting. Do you understand? So that we know that, because now we had to increase, we measured demand, but we had to increase it so that if it comes for fitting, we can now pinpoint anything that we need to adjust and do the final adjustment and go. I gave the woman an appointment. She didn't come. She started saying, I texted her, the appointment is today. She said, I'm imitating her. She knows we sent her this kind of message. She's already visited. I said, okay. I sent her another message, then I traveled. Then she calls me, hi, Kadi, I'm coming to pick up my clothes. And I said, you did not fit the clothes, ma. She said, do I need to fit the clothes again? I said, yes, you need to fit the clothes. This is a new set of suits we've made. Said, that she thought, long story, we came and she picked up the clothes. She didn't fit. The man didn't want problem. She was like, they picked up the clothes and they left. Next thing is that they travels to, so they took the clothes on Monday, right? They didn't fit it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday, Friday night to the wedding, that's when they fitted the clothes, and the suit was big. the wife sent me a message that was wrong, said shouting, sending all sort of messages and all of those things. And I told the man, I said, I'm going to get someone in Owerri to fix the clothes for you. She said, you want the person to come to the hotel. I said, no problem. Next thing, I don't want it. Next thing, this is the same man that came to fit. He now says that the fabric you even use is not the original. You're going to refund me all my money. I said, no problem. I just called my lawyer. I said, please, send her everything. She said, my dear, let's wait for them. When they are ready, they should come. We are ready for them. And the reason I have something to say, send to my lawyer is because I already had these things
documented all the
you understand?
all the
Documented.
communication.
So as you were shouting on all of these things, saying all sorts of things, I didn't say a word. I didn't exchange words with them. And I think sometimes experience is also like shapes you as a person. I've worked in bank. I told you I worked in bank when I was trying to raise money. I worked in bank as a customer service person. So you deal with customers that are very hard when you are dealing with their money. So when she was screaming and shouting all of these things, she said she was going to come back. The one that had not spoken to me, pick up the phone and said, you thought my wife is threatening you. Now you will see the real threat when I come to Lagos. That's saying the fabric he uses cheap. And he used to do a fabric business before now, and he knows original fabric. And I said, sir, but you fitted these pants. And I asked you, do you have any correction you wanted us to do? You said everything is perfect. And I have that on video. So what's now, and they got to worry, now the pants is inferior. Everything is now inferior. Everything is now original. He says, that we will see. The wife now says she's going to drag me on Instagram. We said, no problem. We screenshot all the chat before they go and wipe it, which is very important. When you start having customer issues like this, make sure you screenshot, because they start deleting and taking down things that they've sent to you. So as you start noticing that this is about to look like fight, go and screenshot, go to Instagram screenshot, go to WhatsApp screenshot, document it, and put it safe. So that when they start doing these things, you just bring up. But all our advice is never go into exchange of words with your clients. No matter how, if they call you mad, keep your cool. You understand? Because they are looking for something to pick on. You understand? The moment you say you're mad, I say you're mad too. Now, she will leave every other thing that she's saying, hold on to that one, and then when she's now saying things, people are now supporting her that, who knows what that girl is wrong, she must have been rude. That's why. You understand? So with facing customers physically, for me, documentation has always been my best bit. Sometimes also, trying to be calm when they are in their mood, in their moment. You understand? You just have to know how to not say those things, even though you are feeling like saying them. Because I know there's something someone will say to you, be like, normally, person no fit follow me talk like this. but you just have to maintain your steez and live there and make sure you satisfy your customer. And sometimes too, there are times you also need to be the one to just take a bow. You understand? And say, no problem, I will fix it. You're not doing it because they are right. You're also doing it because you just want peace to reign. And you want them to be able to recommend you to other customers. Do you understand? And even though you know that it's their fault, some people will send you a measurement, and then when they come, they send you the measurement, and when they come and fit the clothes, it's not their size. They hold you responsible. You're the one that spoiled the clothes. Even when you're running the tape in their phone and saying, you sent me 10 inches, 15, you say, that's no, you are the one that made them. You should have known. You understand? You should have known that I am bigger than this. You should have fixed it. You should have added this. Or, do you understand? So you expect you to perform magic. But we dealing with personally with clients, I just have to keep my calm sometimes, document. Sometimes people send you, now I even realize that some of bigger brands, what they do now, they send you contracts. When you reach out to them, you want them to make something for you. So something that they're going to pay you, you're going to pay them, they're going to collect a lot of money from you. They forward you a contract. When you finish reading the contract, you sign. So when they are even in terms of even shipping clothes outside the country, there's a contract. And when there's a duration of time that if you don't return those clothes, you can't get a refund. And of course, they also tell you things, sometimes when we go to Instagram page, you see no refund. You'll be like, why is it no refund? They are rude. Which one besides you no refund? Even if you send me rubbish. So most times, those people have faced a lot of things for them to say they don't want to do refund for people. So either you want to take another thing that is within the price range of what you've already paid for, or you give them a chance to replace what the issue is. Because some people might now, sometimes it's not even the issue of the clothes is not good. Sometimes they're just cranky because they've seen something that is better than what they already bought from you. And they're just being cranky. Not because your clothes is bad. They just want to see a way they can get their money back from you. is psychology. But you two also have to apply your own psychology. Make sure you never get into an argument with them. Make sure you're very nice to them, and make sure that you still hold your money and give them what they want, service, what you want to fix, and fix it. Pretty much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, our time is almost up. I will still take a few questions from, but I want to ask one more question here. I don't know, does anybody want to add anything to that? He did justice to it. Oh.
Okay, I just wanted to,
Okay,
I just want to
just
add
briefly
to
before.
what he said. When he was talking about his customer that is always, hyper, I remember one of my Lebanese customer. And the funny thing about these people is they are the ones that buy most. These ones that have bad character. They will patronize you, but at the end of the day, you feel it. So there's this one that whenever he gives me this order, he will call you this minute. The next 5 minutes, he's calling you again. You late. Where's my product? Where you late? So the way they speak, that they are English, and I will also be calm. I will tell him, sir, very soon, you just called us a few minutes ago, so we are already processing your order. So just give us. So at the end of the day, the best way, like I always tell most people, love always wins. You get? So no matter how difficult that person is, as much as you can, find a way to show that person love. No matter how difficult they are, you will always win them at the end of the day.
Thank you.
Sorry, again, sometimes, right, you also can see a troublesome client from the way they negotiate with you. And learn to run. It's not every money you must take. Do you understand? There's some money that will run your belly. So if you cite that the money is not going to, just stay away from the customer. It's not, some people will be like, it's not a good advice to give. But sometimes you can make an outfit, you've given discount, and then you keep paying for that outfit. You keep redoing that outfit. You lose a lot of money trying to replace that particular customer. And guess what? They will want to price you for cheap. And then you will not end up using ×4 of that amount that they've paid you to replace their outfits.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so let me ask my final set of questions. So the reason that stuff about clients is very important because, like we said earlier, everybody that is in business, apart from passion, you want to make money. And you are not going to make money from angels. You're not going to make money from demons either. You are going to make money from people. So if we don't understand how to relate with the people that come to our business, you might have good product, good services, yet you are not seeing the money. So we need to understand how to relate with our people. I'm sure that maybe in the course of the program, we are going to get more insight on that. So I want to ask this question. Maybe, yeah, all of you, maybe we'll just take that and that will be the last because our time is really fast spent. So our economy in this climate, in Nigeria, seems a bit erratic. So it seems like it doesn't, so I think so, yeah. Okay, I think somebody said, what is erratic? Okay, yeah. So sometimes an entrepreneur or a business person can just think, since everything is just going here today, going there tomorrow, going the other way, so maybe I should just carry my business like that too. Today I'm facing this side, tomorrow I'm going to, even with your structures, with your financing, with your records, with your everything. So it's just, you are just doing it like that. Since the entire economy, the entire country, the entire economy is just like that too. So is it necessary? Is it really necessary to put structure to our hustle in this, the way our economy is, the way, is it really necessary? If yes, what are the things you had to pay attention to structure your business? And how has the structuring helped you? It is a compound question. Show walking.
I think is Dr. Napa that will answer this question when she comes up. But so I'll try and touch on it. For me personally, I was looking at the value and the markets I want to serve. There are certain markets you cannot serve without structure. There are certain things you cannot do in business without proper structure. I'll give you an example. You cannot get me to invest in your business if I don't see structure. That structure, from experience and from people that have done business, and if you go to business schools, is what puts checks and balances on the founder of that business. So it is important, if you have a business you want to build, have an idea of a business you want to build. I think the major fundamental question would be, what is the size of the business you envision? If I want to build a business like an MTN, what I'm looking at is the structures that MTN has put in place to run their business. And I will start from day one to put in those structures.
From day one, not when it starts getting big.
No. So I'll give an example. When we started Nobles, one of the things that we did, I'm not a finance person. Yes, I have an MBA. I've gone to trainings on finance for non-finance managers and all those things. But that is not my core. We found a company that what they do is consulting for financial services. And we pay them monthly. At the end of every month, we forward all our bank statements to them. They prepare the financial report, do all those things. So that tomorrow, if I'm looking for investors, I will just glean on those guys, get those things together, and share with the investors. So it is important that as a business owner, as you are starting, have in your mind to put in those structures. Without those structures, you can never scale. And that is the major problem the Easterners have. And that is why businesses die after the founder leaves. So, but if you want to grow a multinational business, a national business, anything that will outlive you or anything that will grow beyond a certain level, you must have structure. Governance structure, you must have it. At some level, you will now start talking about board structures and all that. But you must have these things. And you must have it from day one. And for me, if your business, you want to run something like a small, no problem. You want to run a one-man show, no problem. But one of the things I've seen, being in the corporate world for some time, is that businesses that grow, that thrive, that have value, you will not go there and without structure. You will not go there without seeing structure. So structure is important, even when you are starting. Things like, this is your responsibility. This is your responsibility. My own is to sell. You understand? Those structures need to be there. Even when you want to go for certifications, whether it is NAFDAC or any other certification, some of those standards look at the structure of the company and what each person is doing before they give you those things. So it is important, even when you are starting, yes, you might be the jack of all trades, be doing, like for me, most of the legal contracts that we have today in our business, I drafted all of them. But I didn't draft them because I knew how to draft. I had to copy from places, remove plagiarism and all those things. But as the business started growing, we had to get someone whose specialty was that. So it is important that you start thinking about those structures from day one and know at what point in your business to bring in those things. For some business owners, if you have capex, or if you have capital funding when you are starting, you can afford to put those structures from day one. But if you are like us that started from, our money and family and friends, you will have to build in those structures as your business grows. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, Chuka.
So I think I agree with him. But Pastor. But the thing is, for me, when I started, I would say I didn't start with structure. I did not. But did I have that in mind? I did. I have it in mind. I need to. Because, I traveled this period, and if I didn't have people that I was there manning some things, I won't be able to do that. Do you understand? That's why structure is very important. Before, I can't do anything. You understand? If I don't have people that, I didn't have anybody. I was doing everything myself, good market runs myself, design myself, do everything myself. You understand? But now I'm able to delegate some duties to people, And I think I was having this conversation with one of my partners, because where I have a factory, I have partners. And one of the partners I was speaking to, we were saying we need to bring in an outsource and HR. Do you understand? That will come and vet our staffs and all of those things, because we have staffs now, and we need someone that we can. Before, you can't be the only one doing all of this talking, firing, all of these things, checking, meeting someone that's coming late every time so we need to give it to somebody else to do it. And it's something we are really working on, and I'm happy about it, because it's going to help me a lot. I don't have to think about if I'm performing on your duty, because I have someone else doing that for me. Do you understand? And I even go as far as, sometimes when I'll be the one driving myself, and I'm in the call, I'm also having a call with a client, I'm trying to put my phone on loudspeaker, I'm trying to do all of this. Delegating all of these things have helped me. So structure really helps. I know it might not be easy when you're just starting and you don't have that capital. But when you are growing, you understand? Because even now, we can take more than we are taking before. You understand? I can expand and take. Someone can tell me, can you do this sharp for me? I can say, yes, bring it, because I have people that will do it. I have someone I can say, quickly enter the motor, carry my car, go to the market. You and driver, go and buy fabric and come back. Someone wants sharp work. You collect that money and put it here. But if I don't have it, it feels me before. Maybe that time I'm still trying to sketch one customer's design. And then someone is calling me to say, please, I have one event tomorrow. And in my line of business, I also do, apart from being a fashion designer, I also do styling. And styling, sometimes these people call you last minute. Maybe if event is in the evening. They are calling you in the morning, please, I have it in the evening. Please, is it possible to get that clothes ready for me so I can wear it in the evening? If I don't have people that have delegated this job to quickly go and do these things for me, it will be difficult to do it. I won't be able to make that money. I will lose that money. So structure also help you bring the money in. You understand? It help you lock the money. It's very important to have it, no matter how you might frown at it. So at every point when you feel like you need it, you already have a certain amount of money to be able to employ one or two people to come and assist you. Please do. It's very important.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, how has structure helped you, your business?
Okay. Structure is very important, but at the beginning, you might not be able to afford the structure. So you just have, just like I said, I was doing it all alone. I was doing it alone, and at the time I had someone that was helping me out with house chores. So it's not all the time when she comes that she has work to do. So I had to delegate part of the work to her, like moving around, looking for openings, where to be dropping my products when she's less busy. So I actually started like that. First of all, I was doing it all alone, gradually like that. And now, at least I have people that are working with me. So it's not something, if you don't have the resources to, put the structure together immediately, you can as well start, just like my own experience. I started without structure, and we're still...
Still structuring.
Yes, structuring.
Yeah. All right, thank you, ma. Okay. Could you have anything to add to that? Because we are about to wrap up.
For me, my kind of business, whether you like it or not, you have to put structures in place, whether you like it or not, because you cannot do everything on your own. I do block production. I will not be the one to mold blocks. I will not be the driver that will convey the blocks to the customer. So I would definitely need people I will work with. So I always had that at the back of my mind from day one. I always know that it's important. So the best thing I do is to make sure I get the best kind of people that will do the work, even when I'm not around. So what I just tell them is, this is what is on ground. I just give them the necessary guidelines, and they carry out the job. As I'm talking to you, I can even stay off work for 1 week, and things will still be going on.
Maya Kanda.
Yes, so it's very important.
Okay. Please, can we give them a round of applause? Thank you. Okay, so we'll take 3 questions from the audience. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's start from there. It's scripture, and the Bible says the last shall be the first. Yes, her hand has been up.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. So, there's a lot of talks about structure, and please, I'm very confused. First question, what is structure? This structure. Because, structure plenty. Like, okay, so let me start with Pastor Steve. You said something about when you started, you draft out the contract, and at some point, you had to get someone. So, at what point did you know that you had to get someone? That's the first. Then, a fashionista. You said you were doing everything by yourself. And now you are getting a HRO and, all those things. Most businesses start and they are doing everything by themselves, So I just want to know, what is structure? Like a simple rundown of this is how a business structure should look like. Okay, just have this in mind that at some point you have to do this, do this, do this, do this. But first, what is this structure we are talking about, please?
So for me, you've already said what structure is about. I think structure also is tailored to everybody differently. Do you understand? For me, how I figured I needed a structure, when I talk about structure, I talk about people assisting you, maybe that's the word. Delegating jobs to people and giving them positions. You understand? That's pretty much what structure is about. Saying this person is your CFO, this one is your CEO, this one is your HR, this one is your quality control. In my own case, this one is your manager, factory manager, production manager, procurement officer. These are the things you talk about structure. That's what structure is about. So for me, when I felt I needed structure, at the point I decided to start putting things in place, was when I realized that, okay, I need to do more things, and the responsibility becoming too much on me. Do you understand? I am doing this, I'm shopping fabric, designing clothes, I come back, I'm so tired, I still have to eat, I still have to do a lot of things, you understand? I still have to drive myself to the market and do the shopping myself, then come back. I already have tailors working for me, right? But I still have to delegate this work to them by myself. So if I'm probably having a meeting with a customer or with a client, I'm trying to sort out these things, and their call is coming in, you understand? But if I have somebody, literally, I've already spoken to, this is what we have for tomorrow. We have this, and that to deliver tomorrow. Make sure this clothes has been delivered tomorrow. And then I go to take calls with customer. I can be on calls with customer for hours. You understand? Because we are finishing this one, you're entering another one. You're finishing this one, you're entering another one. Do you understand? That's what's, for me, that's when I realized I needed structure. Because at the time when, because I was doing everything on my own at the time when we launched, we started doing the Igbo looks, and then a lot of people started coming for their weddings, Igbo weddings. So you're having conversation from this time to this time with another person. Someone in the UK is calling you, someone in the US is calling you. You understand? You need to be able to have, I want this design altered. Okay, what do you want? You understand? And people are waiting for me. Tell us that sitting there waiting for you to finish the call and come and talk to them on what they're going to do for the day. Maybe before it's already running or time is going. Maybe when they now want to start work, they take light, not on gen. I understand you're also losing money. Are you getting me? So I knew I needed people to assist me doing all of these things. So I can be able to handle some other responsibility without now feeling like, oh, I'm losing out in something else. You understand? So for me, that's how I figured I needed a structure.
Thank you, sir. So I think, simply put, just like you said, structure is how you do a thing, how you do certain things, your own way of doing certain things. So you can have a financial structure, how you handle your finances. When money comes in, where does it go? How do we keep it? How do we send out? You have a structure for that. You can have an onboarding structure. How do you hire people? How do you, all those things. So you know your processes. So structure is basically you knowing how you do things. So if you are not around, someone can can see your structure and know what to do. It's just like a building plan. There are different things, different areas of business you can structure. So all those things, they come together to form your holistic structure. Okay, so we are going to, for want of time, we are going to end this session now. So we are going to have another very important session, which will lead us to a general discussion, the questions and answers, and also we can take all the questions and answers at the same time. So please, if you have your questions from this session, this panel session that we've just had, keep them, don't discard them. So write your questions and get ready. So please, before I let them go, can we give a round of applause to please don't go yet. For our panelists. Did we learn anything from them? Okay, so all right. So there is a presentation for our panelists. So they say I should excuse so that they can. All right, so let's welcome Mr. Bisong for that.
Thanks all. I just want to let's give a round of applause to our great panelists. This is actually an inaugural event, and we didn't take it slightly because we felt obviously this is the first time we're having this major event for the church, and we've taken their time, so we need to at least appreciate them. We need to honor them. We need to make them know that, so that next time when we invite them again, they'll always want to come. Amen. So we have plaques for you. So you just, Dennis, can we have for Pastor Steve? Yeah. We have for Chuka, right? Yeah. The fashion guy. He actually sold something for myself and my son, so we need to honor him. The next is for Mr. Ike, Justin Ike, right? Junior, sorry. Joshua. Yeah. They have similar faces, like their brothers, actually. The last but not the least is for Ngozi Bisong for your service. Sorry, we just have a group photograph. You have your flags and hello. Okay. We have the next item. Before guest speaker comes on board, I don't know if we've taken all the questions. I don't know if that okay.
One more time, a round of applause for our seasoned panelists. Thank you so much. So I'm going to welcome my co-moderator, Ifeoma Dike, to introduce our keynote speaker for today, and then we can have the breakout session where you would have more time to interact, engage with all the panelists and business leaders in the house who you may have one or two questions, follow-up questions from the discourse. So please join me, welcome Ifeoma Dike.
Thank you very much. And good afternoon, everyone. Has this been a worthwhile afternoon on July 5th? Great, fantastic. So we are rounding off with this session, and we have a wonderful, wonderful speaker with us. I've heard her speak before, and she's amazing. I'm a fan, by the way. So we have with us Mrs. Napa Onwusa. Round of applause, please. Louder, louder, louder. It's not easy to have her in our midst today. She's ex-Google, ex-Amazon Web Services, I believe, ex-Microsoft, a business leader, a speaker, an author, a founder, and ultimately a disciple of Jesus. But she's a seasoned business leader with over 25 years of experience spanning sales, marketing, business development, people management, and public policy. She serves as the managing partner of Plastic Code Labs in Atlanta, Georgia, and she's and as a managing director at B4B Partners, a revenue consulting and human capacity development company. Throughout her career, Napa has held leadership roles at Amazon Web Services, Google, Microsoft, Visa, Nokia, Cisco, and SAP. And today, she leverages this extensive expertise to help professionals and entrepreneurs grow and scale their businesses. So let's give her a wonderful, wonderful round of applause. Thank you. It's an honor to have you, Ma. Welcome.
So I noticed the people that were not clapping. I saw you. And I will note you for the rest of the session. How are we all doing? Yeah, good? It's been a good conference so far. Yeah? So I left VGC and it took me 1.5 hours to get here. I hear the traffic has been like that all week. For those of us coming from that side, is it a true story? Or is it fake news? Is the rain? Hey, at a point I just said, this is marvelous in my sight. All glory to God. All right, so guys, we're going to spend 30 minutes together. During my sessions, I don't really like it not to be interactive. We're a smaller group, right? There are not many of us. So if you have a question, it's okay to interrupt me. I think we're a family, and this is church. So don't stand on any protocols, okay? Is that fine? Yeah? I really struggled. I don't know. Okay, very good. No, I think, okay, yeah. So I struggled a bit to kind of figure out what I should talk about. And I know they've introduced me. I've had a lot of years of experience. There's something I'm called the revenue mechanic. What I do is I work with a lot of businesses to see how to kind of help them generate revenue. You know, when you come for these conferences, they talk a lot about the business owner, right? You guys. So how many of you have started a business? How many of you are about to start? Okay, nice, nice. Oh, structure. It was a good question, Jerry, because when you start business, sometimes they'll say KPIs. What are your KPIs? What is your CAC? You know, you'll just be lost. You'll be like, is it not money we're making again? How many of you have done more than one business? This is your second, third time. Oh, so most of you are like mostly new. Yeah? So I want to start with a story. This is something that actually happened. I want to introduce you to the Okonjo twins. And we can go to the next slide. I was hoping for a clicker, so I won't do next slide here. So whenever I do next slide, just block your ears. Pretend you can't hear me. Next slide. Okay. So this is a story of a set of twin sisters. They grew up together, and now they have graduated from university. They have started their youth service. So since they were born, they have never been apart for their birthday. They were posted, one was posted to Lagos, one was posted to Abuja. And Choma, that is in Abuja, decides she wants to send a present to her twin sister that she has never missed her birthday before. So she sends the gift. I wish I could read. So she sends the gift. Can we go to the next slide? So she ordered a birthday gift. She waited all day. Her sister never got it. No call, no updates, nothing. She messaged, she called, no response. And her sister actually thought for the very first time her birthday had been forgotten. And the gift eventually arrived 2 days later with no excuse. Okay? And what she had done is she had chosen a new tech startup, logistics company. If we go to the next slide. And the name of the company is SwiftDrop. So SwiftDrop recently raised money. I'm sure for those of us that are SMEs or founders, we understand raising capital for your business, whether it's from friends, family, from VCs, from angel funds. So he had just raised money, and the goal was to scale his logistics company. So all he does, Ola, is he helps people deliver their items. Is anybody in logistics here? Nobody? Logistics. You know, sorry? Upcoming. Who is upcoming? Let me see your face. Up and coming artist. Well done. So, you know, logistics in Nigeria is no joke. So once this guy raised, let's go back to Ola. He reached out to us to find out what was wrong with his business. Can we go to the next slide? And we found out with his business, he was having high customer churn. Now, churn just means the percentage of customers that buy from you and do not buy again. That means you lost them. So a lot of his customers were coming once and going back. His pricing was very low, lower than what was in market, but he kept on losing repeat customers. He did a new website. Shebi, he had gotten funding. For some of us that go and carry somebody else's money. He went and got a new website. He went and got more riders, because that is the idea when you have a logistics company. He did Instagram ads. Who does ads here? Do you do it yourself? Or you have somebody? You do it yourself, because some of us business owners, when somebody else is doing the ads, you're always harassing them, I'm not getting leads, I'm not getting leads. This is what was happening to Ola. And apart from price and marketing, the real problem was customer experience. Can we see that? The reason I started with this story is because in these kind of conferences, we tend to focus on us, the business owners, right? We talk about our customers as if our customers are not the ones that give us money. Have we noticed it? We tend to focus on how do you manage a difficult customer? And the insights from the panel were actually, for me, very, very interesting and powerful. Because I hope you picked a lot of the advice, not only on structure, but also managing customers. I really wish I had been here from the beginning. So what did we do with Ola? All names have been changed. Let's go to the next slide. Can you see me as a mechanic? That's what they call me, revenue mechanic. I can see those that are not smiling at my picture, and I will note you again. So what did we do? We mapped the customer journey. Customer journey as a business owner is very important. What is it? What are the steps your customer takes to buy your product? That is what your customer journey is. You have to know your customer journey, and you have to make sure you make it better for your customer. So for example, if you launch an Instagram ad, the customer clicks it, it directs to WhatsApp, correct? Somebody answers the person on WhatsApp, and then they get a link to make payment. After payment, they will get confirmation, and they get their order. That is your customer journey, okay? We mapped out that journey. What does it look like? We also made sure the dispatch people called 30 minutes, once the order had been placed, and then SMA delay updates. So if there was going to be a delay in your delivery, an SMS will be sent. The customer service became a growth tool for this company, and they were able to 4x revenue. I think we did this in about 3 months. And then they were able to retain their customers. I think all of us know it's not easy to get a new customer, correct? It really isn't. But sometimes, because we don't prioritize what we now call customer success, what people used to call customer service, we lose customers, and we are spending all our time getting new and new customers when you should get your customer, keep your customer, and keep on servicing your customer. But can you see the difference in the perspectives? The customer was in deep pain because the service they paid for did not deliver the results. The owner of the business was in deep pain because they didn't realize a lot of the structures in their business were broken. So what I'm going to tell you very briefly is a framework you can use in your business. You can start using this, in fact, as of today. And it's called the revenue flywheel. So we can go to the next slide. So R stands for researching your customers. If you want, I can share the slides so you don't spend time writing. E stands for engineering your value proposition. I think, Pastor Steve, you mentioned this about value proposition, being able to articulate what makes your own product the reason, validating the solution, elevating the experience, nurturing relationships, upselling with integrity, and then empowering internal teams. So let's start with the first one, researching your customer. A lot of business owners do this. They will just wake up and say, I'm going to become a fashionista. Chuka is blinding me with his drip. As he came down from the stage, I didn't even greet anybody else. I said, did you think of this outfit on your own? So it's obvious that you have this particular aesthetic, maybe avant-garde, futuristic, very forward-thinking design. That is his own unique value proposition, right? So if that is the product you serve, which is your unique value proposition, you need to understand the needs, behaviors, and pain points of your customers. How do you do this? Very simple. I have people that sell things to me. They only harass me on my birthday. They harass me when they want me to place an order. They've never asked me, Napa, how was your experience doing business with me? Anything I can improve? How many of you do that currently? It's not enough people in the room, because almost more than half the room raise their hands that they have businesses, right? You should actively be asking your customers, what can I do better for you? What are the issues you are having? You see these twins, the issue with this, the delivery that was late, it was deeper than a late delivery. It spoke to history between two people. And that is how you have to see your customers' pain point or needs or desires. It is outside you. So you need to know it so you can feel it better than anybody else. So let me ask a question. If you were going to take a car service now from here, and you had an option between Uber and Bolt, by vote of hands, who would choose Uber? Who would choose Bolt? Okay, who is walking home? Because they want enough votes. The people that didn't vote, how far now? Are we beefing? No, is there another option I don't know about? Which one? You see? You see? You see? No, but why would you choose? Is it German? Oh, how could we forget InDrive? InDrive, I apologize. So why would you choose InDrive? Cheaper. You can negotiate. It's cheaper. Is what? There's no surge pricing. Can you see that InDrive came into a market that had Uber, that had Bolt, that were all doing the same thing, but they understood you, their consumer, and they addressed your pain points. In fact, they addressed it so well, when given two options, most of you did not vote. You started speaking about InDrive. So the question is, have you addressed your customers' needs, desires, pains, in a way that if they're in a room, you are not there, they will speak about you in the same way? Right? So some of you, for example, fashion, I've been looking for I'm sorry I'm talking about it because it's a pain point for me. I'm not the most fashionable person. Okay? And I've always wanted a fashion designer that can help me find my style. But all the fashion designers will come and say, no, madam, what is happening now is cut out. It's cut out. Just do cut out. I'm like, gosh, darn it. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with this. Because they haven't really identified my needs, pains, and desires. So you use surveys, you use interviews. When your customer is talking, be listening to your customers. Don't only reach out to them when they place an order with you. Once in a while, send them a survey. For those of us in technology, there's a survey we use. It's called Net Promoter Score. You can check it out if you don't know about it. And it talks about whether you would recommend me to a friend. So a lot of us do the one deal and then we're off. Okay? So here you build empathy and insight because you want to be able to personalize the experience for each person. So think of it this way. If you want to sell what John Smith buys, you must see the world through John Smith's eyes. It's very, very important too. And this is what makes the difference between the brands that grow and continue to scale, because that's what we're looking for. So let's go to the E. Engineer your value proposition. So you align your product to what your customers value the most. So maybe since we're in InDrive territory, if you say cost surge and pricing, I think it's cost surge. What else did we say? Negotiable. Out of the three, which one is the most important to you? Surge, negotiable. Is it? Surge, for me, it's surge pricing. Because there's a way surge pricing will do you think that you're being pranked. So you have to align your product to that particular, you've now done all the needs of your customer. There might be two, there might be three. So for somebody that wants to come to me to tell me about, I think Noble's Cloud, for example, one of the great things about Noble's Cloud is the fact that I'm able to pay in local currency. Yeah. We don't know how painful it is. You know why? Because as a business, my revenues are in local currency. So my profitability is in local currency. My sales is in local currency. So when you now bring a dollar price that I cannot control, you have made my business unpredictable. It is a pain point. You see what I'm saying? So don't just say your product, madam, we make nice shirts and we make nice skirts. If you wear it, everybody will like it. But maybe for me, it's speed, right? Or I want to be able to have a particular way I look at, I want a particular way I look. So you must always align your product to your customers' needs and make sure you use outcome-based messaging. So I don't know how many of you are into shoes, sneakers, Nike. Anybody in the room? Only one person. 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, going once, going twice, 5 people. So if I ask you what is the compression level of a Nike pair of shoes, what will you say? Do you know? You don't know. If you don't know about it, then you can forget about it. But what has Nike sold you? They have told you that once you wear our shoes, anything is possible. Just look at their ads. There's absolutely no messaging about the speed, the size. How many of you prefer iPhone to Android? Answer well. How many of you prefer Android to iPhone? This room is not a good room. No, but when you're buying iPhone, the people that buy iPhone, let's be honest. I hope this is not recorded, but iPhone is not as if there's anything extra special around it. But what they have done is they have given you the outcome of the iPhone, which is prestige, which is status. But Android, especially Samsung S25, is coming strong, in that area. So this is how you position your product based on the customer's need and then also based on outcomes. Don't say, I make the best dresses. Say that when you wear my clothes, women feel confident in my clothes. If you're selling educational technology, you say that we have 97% of our learners pass their exams on the first time. That's what you do. You don't talk about the features. Nobody talks about the features at this level. So let's go to V in our framework. And this is validate the solution. We all know this one. These are the people that when they get a business idea, especially when it's in church, I don't know why. When somebody gets a business idea in church, they never want to check and see whether it works, even to spend some time in prayer and fasting. The next thing they do is they will print out business cards. They'll go and pay somebody $160K for logo, and then they'll spin off a website, or you now start doing a lot of things. Please test with real users before scaling. A small amount of people. Make sure those people are willing to pay you money for the value you say they will get, right? I can't count the number of people that will come and pitch startup ideas because I'm an investor and I work for a venture fund, or I'm a partner in a venture fund. And you hear things like, Napa, you don't understand this solution. This is like Uber, but for suya. Who has bought your Uber for suya? Nobody. But Napa, we need 160,000 because we're going to build the platform. It doesn't make any sort of sense. So before you go and do it big, you test with small users. So remember first, you understand the customer's pain points. You understand what their issues are, their pain points, their desires, their needs. You get it? You now have built a value proposition. You have told them, this is what my product will do to give you that outcome that will solve that problem, that will fulfill that need, that will meet that desire. Once you have done that, you will now take a small segment of them and then you will now sell the product to them. So you will build what people will pay you money for. So you don't become frustrated as an entrepreneur. It's very important. Yeah? So always look for feedback over features. So once you give it to those first set of people, let's hear what they say. Did we meet our brand promise? What we told you would get, did you get it? Okay? So now you validated your solution. The next thing you do is elevate the experience. We struggle here in Nigeria a lot. I don't know when motivational speakers, I call them the Tom and Jerry motivational speakers that are on Instagram. They've given us wings. We don't believe we need to give our customers an experience that rivals our competition. Right? How do you do this? Design every touch point in your customer journey. Remember what we said about customer journey? All the things your customer does to buy your product, make it beautiful, right? I had an experience with a vendor and the logistics part, no structure. There was absolutely no structure on her logistics. And we ended up spending 2 days trying to even find out where her product was.